1961 Chevrolet Corvair ramp side.
What do you get when you combine a turbocharged monster that embarrasses supercars, a mini truck from the future, and a coal hauler from 1916? You get Jay Leno's secret stash of banned pickup trucks. These 10 machines represent everything the automotive industry tried to forget. Too fast, too strange, too impractical, or just flat out illegal. But they're all sitting in Jay's garage right now. And we're about to show you why each one of these trucks is worth more than just metal and memories. If you're ready to see trucks that'll blow your mind, hit that subscribe button right now, because we're diving into automotive history that most channels won't touch. Pickup truck number 1, 1991, GMC Cyclone. When the GMC Cyclone rolled out in 1991, it didn't just surprise people, it humiliated them. Jay Leno calls it one of the most absurd yet brilliant trucks ever engineered. This wasn't some farm truck with a lift kit. This was a compact pickup that could smoke Ferraris off the line and leave Corvette owners questioning their life choices. Under the hood sat a turbocharged 4.3-liter V6, pumping out 280 horsepower and a staggering 350 pound-feet of torque. Paired with all-wheel drive and a sophisticated 4-speed automatic transmission, this thing launched like a missile. 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. Let that sink in. A pickup truck in 1991 doing what supercars struggled to achieve. In Jay's episode, you can see the pure joy on his face as he hammers the throttle down the runway. The boost kicks in, the rear squats down like a drag racer, and the Cyclone just explodes forward. It makes absolutely no sense, he laughs, shaking his head. And that's exactly why I love it. The Cyclone wasn't designed for hauling lumber or towing trailers. It was pure, unfiltered adrenaline wrapped in a pickup body. Only 2,995 units were ever made. GMC knew they had something special, something dangerous, something that didn't fit into any category. It was a truck for people who wanted to prove a point. That point being, you don't need a low-slung Italian exotic to dominate a stoplight. Jay revels in the contradiction. How could something so small, so unassuming, deliver such devastating performance? The Cyclone represented a moment in automotive history when engineers said, forget the rules, and just built what they wanted. It's a truck that defies logic, challenges expectations, and makes you grin every single time you floor it. The turbocharged whine, the all-wheel drive grip, the sheer violence of the acceleration. It's a perfect storm of chaos and engineering brilliance, and it's exactly the kind of machine that could never exist in today's world of regulations and safety committees. Pickup truck number 2, 1978, Chevrolet C30, custom dually. If the Cyclone is all about speed, the 1978 Chevrolet C30 is all about presence. This isn't a truck you drive, it's a truck you command. Customized by the legendary team at Empire Fabrication, this heavy-duty dually is a rolling monument to American craftsmanship. Jay's fascination doesn't come from horsepower numbers or lap times. It comes from the sheer artistry involved in transforming a working-class hauler into a show-stopping masterpiece. Empire Fabrication took a truck designed to haul tons of cargo across rough terrain and turned it into something that belongs in an art gallery. The bodywork is so precise, so flawlessly executed, that it looks like it was sculpted from a single piece of steel. Every panel flows seamlessly into the next. Every curve has purpose. Every detail has been obsessed over. Inside the cabin, you'll find a blend of old-school toughness and modern refinement. The seats are comfortable but rugged. The dashboard retains its vintage character while incorporating subtle upgrades that make it drivable in today's world. Under the hood, the engine rumbles with a deep, confident growl. It's not trying to be the fastest truck on the block. It doesn't need to be. This is a truck that announces itself with authority. Jay takes it for a slow cruise around the lot, showing off the suspension setup and the smoothness of the ride despite its massive size. "It's a workhorse that looks like a showstopper," he says, running his hand along the fender with genuine admiration. "Every line, every curve, every single detail is a testament to what happens when skill meets vision and passion meets precision." The C30 represents an era when trucks were built to last forever. When steel was thick, engines were simple, and a truck was something you passed down to your kids. Empire Fabrication didn't just restore this truck. They elevated it. They took something utilitarian and made it beautiful without losing its soul. And that's what makes it special. It's still a truck. It can still work. But now it's also a piece of rolling art that commands respect wherever it goes. Pickup truck number 3, Tello MT1 Mini Truck. The Tello MT1 Mini Truck represents a radical shift in how we think about pickups. It's small, it's electric, and it's packed with more personality than trucks twice its size. Jay's review reveals a machine that's perfectly suited for the modern world. It's not trying to be a Silverado or an F-150. It's trying to be smarter, more efficient, and more fun. And it succeeds on all counts. Jay climbs into the compact cabin and immediately notices how responsive everything feels. The electric motor delivers instant torque, making the MT1 feel like a tiny rocket ship. "It's like driving a go-kart with a bed," he says with genuine excitement. Unlike traditional pickups that rely on brute force and displacement, the MT1 is built around intelligence. It's designed for tight city streets, narrow parking spaces, and situations where a full-size truck would be a liability. The turning radius is incredibly tight, the visibility is excellent, and the silence is almost eerie compared to the rumble of conventional trucks. Jay navigates through city streets, weaving through traffic with ease and slipping into parking spots that would be impossible for larger trucks. He loads a small cargo box into the bed, demonstrating that despite its size, the MT1 is still a functional utility vehicle. It's not going to haul a horse trailer or tow a boat. But for urban deliveries, weekend projects, or just running errands, it's absolutely perfect. The MT1 represents the future of pickups, a future where efficiency matters as much as capability, where size isn't everything, where electric power isn't a compromise but an advantage. This is the kind of truck that makes sense for people who actually use trucks as tools rather than status symbols. It's practical, affordable, and environmentally conscious without sacrificing the core utility that makes a pickup useful. Jay sees it as proof that the truck world is evolving, that there's room for innovation and new ideas, that not every pickup needs to be a massive, fuel-guzzling beast. Sometimes smaller, smarter, and cleaner is exactly what we need. Pickup truck number 4, 1953 Ford F-100. The 1953 Ford F-100 is pure American nostalgia on 4 wheels. Jay's episode on this truck feels like a love letter to a simpler time, a time when trucks were honest, straightforward, and built to work without complaint. The design is clean and functional. No unnecessary styling gimmicks. No fake vents or chrome overload. Just honest sheet metal shaped into a form that's both practical and handsome. Jay fires up the flathead V8 engine, and the garage fills with that unmistakable rumble. It's a sound that connects you directly to the past. A sound that reminds you of a time when engines were simple, repairs were easy, and a truck was something you could fix with basic tools in your own driveway. He guides the F-100 through corners with deliberate care. There's no power steering here, no anti-lock brakes, no traction control, just you, the truck, and the road. It demands your attention. It requires skill, and that's exactly what makes it so rewarding to drive. This is raw driving in its purest form. You feel every bump in the road. You sense every shift in weight. You're connected to the machine in a way that modern trucks, with all their electronic assists and computer controls, simply can't replicate. It's raw, Jay says with a smile. It's real. It reminds you why we fell in love with trucks in the first place. The F-100 isn't just a vehicle. It's a piece of history preserved in running, driving form. It represents an era when America was rebuilding after the war, when optimism was high and the future seemed limitless. These trucks built America. They hauled materials to construction sites. They worked on farms and ranches. They were the backbone of the economy. And they did it all without complaint, without fancy features, without needing a computer to tell them what to do. The F-100 is a reminder that sometimes the old ways were the best ways. That simplicity has its own kind of sophistication, that a truck doesn't need to be complicated to be great. Pickup truck number 5, 1974, Datsun Sunny 1200 UT. Jay's love for quirky imports shines brightest with the 1974 Datsun Sunny 1200. This tiny Japanese pickup is the automotive equivalent of a Swiss Army knife. Small, lightweight, efficient, and surprisingly capable. It's the kind of vehicle that makes you smile just looking at it. Jay climbs into the compact cabin and immediately appreciates the clever engineering. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. Nothing is wasted. The Japanese understood efficiency in a way American manufacturers were still learning. The steering is tight and responsive. The little engine revs freely and eagerly. The whole truck feels nimble and alive in a way that larger vehicles simply can't match. It's not designed to haul massive loads or tow heavy trailers. It's designed to be smart, economical, and practical in ways that American trucks of the era completely ignored. Jay demonstrates how easily it navigates through tight traffic, how effortlessly it slips into parking spaces that would be impossible for a full-size pickup, how surprisingly peppy the little engine feels when you wind it out. Small, clever, and fun, he says with genuine affection. It's a reminder that pickups don't have to be big to be great. The Sunny 1200 UT represents a completely different philosophy of truck design. Where American trucks prioritized power and size, Japanese trucks prioritized efficiency and intelligence. Where American trucks were built for wide open spaces and straight highways, Japanese trucks were built for crowded cities and narrow streets. And in many ways, the Japanese approach was more advanced, more forward-thinking, more aligned with where the world was heading. This little Datsun proved that you could have a useful, practical truck without needing a massive engine or enormous dimensions. It was a lesson that took American manufacturers decades to learn. And even today, with the rise of compact trucks like the Maverick and Santa Cruz, we're still catching up to ideas that the Japanese perfected 50 years ago. Pickup truck number 6, Boyd Coddington, 1989, Chopped Sport Truck. The chopped sport truck is automotive art in its purest form. This isn't just a modified truck. It's a rolling sculpture created by one of the greatest hot rod builders in history. Boyd Coddington was a legend, a man who saw vehicles not as transportation, but as canvases for expression. And this chopped sport truck is one of his masterpieces. Jay's fascination is immediate and obvious. He walks around the truck slowly, taking in every detail. The chopped roof dramatically lowers the profile, giving the truck an aggressive, predatory stance. The body lines flow with purpose and precision. Every curve, every angle, every surface has been carefully considered and expertly executed. This is what happens when engineering meets artistry, when function meets form, when someone with vision and skill decides to push boundaries and create something truly special. Under the hood sits a robust V8 engine that's been tuned not just for speed, but for sound. Because a truck like this isn't just meant to drive, it's meant to announce its presence. It's meant to turn heads and stop conversations. Jay fires it up, and the exhaust note is perfect. Deep, aggressive, purposeful. He takes it for a cruise, and you can see the joy on his face. This isn't a tool truck, he laughs. It's an artist's canvas on wheels. The Boyd Coddington truck represents a moment in automotive culture when customization reached its peak, when builders weren't constrained by regulations or worried about resale value. They just built what they wanted, what they dreamed about, what they knew would be special. And this truck is special. It's a one-of-one creation that could never be replicated. It's a piece of automotive history that represents the golden age of hot rodding and custom building. Pickup truck number 7, the Artec Retro Truck Restomod. The Artec Retro Truck Restomod is Jay Leno's perfect example of having your cake and eating it too. It looks like it rolled off the streets in the 1960s with classic lines, vintage styling, and old-school charm. But underneath that nostalgic exterior beats the heart of a modern machine. This is what Restomods are all about, taking the best of the past and combining it with the best of the present. Jay loves trucks like this because they capture the soul of a bygone era while still being practical and reliable for modern use. The suspension has been completely upgraded with modern components. The brakes are powerful and precise. The engine, while maintaining a classic appearance, incorporates modern fuel injection, electronic ignition, and reliability that the original could never match. He drives it around, pointing out the clever upgrades and hidden improvements. The attention to detail is remarkable. The interior stitching is perfect. The chrome has been carefully restored. The paint is flawless. But what really impresses Jay is how the truck maintains that authentic vintage character while eliminating all the frustrations of actually owning an old vehicle. No more vapor lock on hot days. No more points and condensers to adjust. No more wondering if it'll start. It's a perfect blend, he says with satisfaction. Old soul, new heart. The Artec Restomod represents the ideal solution for enthusiasts who love classic trucks but also want to actually drive them, who want to enjoy the experience without the constant maintenance and reliability issues. This is how you preserve automotive history while making it accessible and usable. You don't just restore it to original condition and let it sit in a museum. You upgrade it, improve it, make it better while respecting what made it special in the first place. And that's exactly what Artec has accomplished with this truck. Pickup truck number 8, 1961 Chevrolet Corvair Rampside. Few trucks in history have the sheer personality and innovation of the 1961 Chevrolet Corvair Rampside. Jay Leno calls it America's most radical pickup, and he's not exaggerating. This truck broke every rule in the book. Instead of a conventional layout, it features a rear-mounted engine. Instead of a traditional tailgate, it has a side-loading ramp. It's weird, it's unconventional, and it's absolutely brilliant. Driving the Rampside is a completely unique experience. The rear engine layout gives it handling characteristics unlike any other truck. The weight distribution is different. The balance is unusual. But once you adjust to it, it's actually quite fun. Jay demonstrates the signature ramp mechanism, showing how it made loading motorcycles, equipment, or cargo incredibly easy. You didn't have to lift things over a high tailgate. You just rolled them up the ramp. Simple, clever, practical. The engine, a flat 6 borrowed from the Corvair car, sits behind the cabin and produces a distinctive sound. It's not powerful by modern standards, but it's adequate and surprisingly smooth. Jay admires the creativity and risk-taking that led to this truck's creation. In the early 1960s, Chevrolet was willing to experiment, to try new ideas, to challenge conventions. The Rampside is proof of that innovative spirit. It's a truck that refuses to be ordinary, Jay says with admiration. It's a truck that dared to be different. And while it wasn't a commercial success, it's now a beloved piece of automotive history. The Rampside represents a time when automakers were willing to take chances, when they weren't afraid to fail, when innovation mattered more than playing it safe. And that's something we've lost in today's world of focus groups and market research. Pickup truck number 9, custom 1967, Chevrolet C10 Restomod. The 1967 Chevrolet C10 Resto Mod in Jay's collection is the perfect marriage of classic style and modern performance. Jay examines every detail with the eye of a true enthusiast. The lines are pure 1967. Sharp, clean, purposeful. The proportions are perfect. The stance is aggressive but not overdone. But underneath that classic exterior lies a completely modern drivetrain. The original engine has been replaced with a powerful modern V8 that delivers performance the original truck could only dream about. We're talking fuel injection, electronic engine management, and horsepower numbers that would embarrass many sports cars. The suspension has been completely redesigned with modern geometry, adjustable shocks, and components that provide handling that's light years beyond the original. The brakes are massive, powerful, and fade-resistant. Jay talks about how Restomods like this allow enthusiasts to experience nostalgia without sacrificing reliability, performance, or safety. You get the look, the style, the character of a classic truck, but you also get the confidence to drive it anywhere, anytime, without worry. He takes it for a drive, and the difference is immediately apparent. The suspension hugs corners with precision. The brakes respond instantly with modern stopping power. The engine pulls hard and smooth through the entire rev range. Inside, the cabin retains the charm and character of 1967 while offering modern comfort and convenience. The seats are supportive. The gauges are clear and easy to read. The whole experience is exactly what a Restomod should be. It's like the past and the future had a baby, Jay jokes. And that baby is absolutely perfect. This C10 represents the ideal way to enjoy classic trucks in the modern world. You don't have to choose between style and substance. You can have both. Pickup truck number 10, the 1916 Autocar coal truck. Finally, we arrive at a truck that feels like it came straight from the history books, the 1916 Autocar coal truck. Jay Leno treats this vehicle with the reverence it deserves because it's not just a truck. It's a piece of industrial history. It's a window into a time when America was building itself, when trucks were new technology, when the internal combustion engine was still proving itself. Built specifically for hauling coal, this truck's design is purely functional. There are no styling flourishes, no unnecessary details, just raw, honest engineering designed to do a job. The frame is massive and overbuilt. The wheels are solid and simple. The engine is basic but effective. Jay climbs into the driver's seat, which is more like a bench than a modern chair, and starts the engine. The sound is unlike anything modern. It's mechanical, industrial, almost agricultural. Driving it around, Jay reflects on how far trucks have come. From this basic coal hauler to the Cyclone that can outrun supercars. From simple utility to complex machines that can do almost anything. But there's something special about this old autocar. Something honest and pure. Every dent, every scratch, every mark tells a story. Jay says quietly, "This is a truck that earned its place in history. This truck represents the foundation upon which the entire American truck industry was built." These early trucks proved that motorized vehicles could replace horses for commercial work. They proved that internal combustion engines were reliable enough for daily use. They proved that trucks could be profitable, practical, and essential to modern commerce. Without trucks like this 1916 Autocar, we wouldn't have the F-150s, Silverados, and Rams that dominate our roads today. This is where it all started. This is the grandfather of every pickup truck in America. These 10 trucks in Jay Leno's collection are more than just machines. They're storytellers, innovators, and icons. Each one represents a moment in automotive history when someone dared to do something different. When engineers pushed boundaries. When designers took risks. When builders created art. From the turbocharged insanity of the Cyclone to the industrial honesty of the Autocar, each truck has earned its place in Jay's garage and in automotive history. They remind us that trucks aren't just tools. They're expressions of American ingenuity, creativity, and the relentless drive to build something better. They're proof that the best machines are the ones that break rules, challenge expectations, and refuse to be ordinary. And they're all sitting in Jay Leno's garage, preserved and celebrated as the legends they truly are. If you loved learning about these incredible machines, make sure you're subscribed, because we've got more automotive history coming your way. Drop a comment and let us know which of these 10 trucks you'd want in your own garage. And if you want to see more banned, rare, and forgotten vehicles that changed the game, check out our other videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.